as we do it to our children. We a mom and we hella true to it. Creating our own lane is how we move through it. And just cause it's hard don't mean that we won't do it. Now this is motherhood, I'm welcoming you into it. Now this is motherhood, I'm welcoming you into it. And just cause it's hard don't mean that we won't do it. It's the M to the O to the M again. It's the month of moms anthem. Month of moms anthem. Month of moms. It's the M to the O to the M again. It's the month of moms anthem. It's the month of moms anthem. It's the month of moms anthem. Welcome to iBloom TV. I'm your host, Majestic June. This is our co-host, Isaiah. This is Month of Mom Series, episode 2. And today we got Mama Renee in the building. Make some noise. We're living it up. Renee, how you feeling today?
I'm good.
Feeling good? How you feeling this week? Where are we at in this week?
Ooh, this week has been so interesting. It feels like, what day was that? The whole Capitol thing. That day... at the beginning of the morning, it got me feeling, very anxious. I was like, what is going on? And then I was like, you know what? I'm not going to give this power because I'm not going to let this ruin my whole day. This whole like ridiculous thing that's going on. So I just kind of turned it around and I went on Instagram. I was like, I'm going to dance to this. I'm dancing to America showing its ASS today. You know what I mean? Yeah. So besides that, it's been a good week. I've been doing some shoots. I've been busy, but just trying to stay focused on like just not getting stressed out and trying to keep my anxiety down, and then what else? Taking it day by day. Yeah, that's the key. That's the key. Take it day by day. You said you were dancing and you were doing this hand movement. Were you dancing on your pole or were you just? No, I was not on the pole. Okay, but I was dancing to us little pumps in the in the club. I was like, hey. Period. Yeah, yes, that's the energy. Yeah. Why not? Like, what? I'm in the house. Why not? Just, I haven't been able to go out and twerk, so I'm just gonna have my little private twerk session. This week's it's been beautiful. We definitely gotta take it day by day. But for a little icebreaker, I have an unnecessary question. How do you eat your Oreos? I like to open them and then scrape the white part off and then eat the other part. Oh, okay. I'm still trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out what that means to me. I don't know, but like I'm really gonna start asking people how they eat Oreos, and I'm gonna come up with something like, oh, that means you're like I don't know. But I take it apart, and the one that has the cream on it, I just eat that whole thing. No, I eat the part that doesn't have it on there first, then the other part, because it's like save the best for last. You know? But so I take it apart, eat the part that has nothing on it, and then the cream. Oh, okay. Yeah, I go with cream first. Yeah, because that's the best part. Yeah. And I get double cream. Like you gotta double it up, like a double cup. Yeah. Anyways, so we're gonna jump into this mama talk. First of all, how many kids do you have? I have one kid. Okay. And I have a daughter. And the pronouns are they, them. Okay. That's how they like to go by. How old? Almost 15. Will be 15 in March, and their name is Bailey. Okay. Just because you said their name, I feel like we use pronouns because we do as a people we refer to people as she or they or them, like, oh, look at her over there or him over there, and we do that instead of saying it's Bailey over there. Yeah. What person in the red shirt, or you know what I'm saying, like trying to do things like that instead. But since we move like that, do you feel like it's really important to know someone's pronouns? Like even just us today, like I didn't ask you what your pronouns were, but how do you feel about that? I do think it's important because it's just being respectful of how somebody feels or how they identify. I try to, but it doesn't always happen. I think I tend to like call people they them until I know their pronouns, or I'll just or I'll ask. But I think it's important because it's important to people. Some people it's really important to them, Yeah. So it's just. Do you feel like with your daughter's choices that has made you more aware? Definitely. Yes. Definitely. They've taught me so much about that and like so many other things that I didn't really know, and like so I've learned a lot from my own child, and that's been really cool because for me once Bailey came out to me, I was like, I need to educate myself around this because I want to be supportive and know what they're saying and what I'm talking about, Right. So yeah, same. I wasn't too aware of what pronouns were. I went to a like open mic event, I think by Jada Monty put it on, and we were in a circle and they're like, say your names, your preferred pronouns, like favorite color or something. I'm like,
pronouns. Like, I'm all like, I don't know my adjectives. I don't know. Like, I swear that was the thing. I was thinking in my head, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. But then, like, other people are going around and they were saying, like, she, her, they, them. I was like, she, her? Like, you know, I really didn't know. I'm like, I think that's what I go by. Like, I don't know. But that was so new for me. And I was like, wow, like, okay, like, you know, things change. Like, as, like, time goes on, things change. But as for knowledge, like, I'm curious, and I'm sure there's other people that I don't know. With your pronouns being they, them, does that make you, like, are you considered, like, non-binary, or?
Yeah, I think Bailey right now, it kind of changes because they are only 14, and, like, I just tell them, like, a lot of times I'm like, hey, whatever. Like, sometimes they'll be like, oh, I want to go by they, them, or he, him, or, you know, and I'm just like, yeah, like, try things out because you're young. Don't box yourself into something.
Don't feel like you have to stay there.
Yeah, and I think right now it's non-binary, so not, they're gender fluid, like, they don't really, you know, go by one gender, so.
That's awesome. And how, like, is your family supportive about, like, Bailey's decision?
Yes. My older sister is gay, so it was, you know, I kind of knew, like, Bailey was going to be queer. I didn't know in what way, but I kind of knew as a mom, knowing my kid. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And for me, it's my older sister that came out, and so I just wanted to. It was different when my sister came out to my parents. I mean, it's a different generation, right?
Yeah.
So they're a little bit different on how they dealt with that at first. Now they're accepting of it. So I was like, man, if I ever have a kid, I just want to be accepting of my child, whoever they're gonna be, because that's the only thing I can do as a parent. Be supportive of your child, and like they're gonna do what they want, regardless of you know. I mean, so as long as they're not hurting themselves, I'm just like, I gotta be supportive and educate myself, and
And like you already said, like you're basically doing the best you can do, but do you feel that you're doing a good job?
Yeah, I mean,
you feel pretty confident in
a lot of my queer friends that are, you know, my age or a little younger are like, man, I wish you were my mom when I came out, because I've heard horror stories. Yeah. It's sad, you know, like people just own their children, and I'm like, it's your kid though. Like, I mean, and this is the generation thing. It's different, you know, people's different ways of how they deal with things. But yeah, it really makes me feel good when my friends that are queer or trans are like, man, you're such a great mom, and you know how you deal with that and how you're supportive of Bailey. And they're like, I wish that, you know, I'm like, oh
yeah, that I have that same.
Yeah, it makes me feel really good.
Because it's our job to like create that safe space where like you're home, and like you being the home for your child, like you can come to me with anything. Like be exactly who you are, who you want to be. Like you shouldn't have to be scared to be who you are in front of me. You know, like I'm here for you. Yeah. But I've been binge watching Pose. I don't know if you've seen that,
Pose is so good.
Yeah, like a lot of parents like just kick their kids out. It's just like
out.
Bye.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are dying from AIDS in the show, and then like parents are popping up at the funeral like with so much regret, you know. And it's just like, that's your baby. Yeah. Like you love your child, you know, no matter what. And I know it's hard in different times. Definitely like our older generation, it's definitely hard when like they had to come out and things like that versus now in this day, like it's a little bit easier, you know. People are more understanding, which hey, it's good. Like we're doing better. We're doing better. We're a better generation. Yes. And his generation is gonna be even better. Better. You know, we're all learning. But tell me, what does a day look like for you being a mom to a 14-year-old, an almost teenager?
You know what? It's not, I don't want to say it's easy, but they're very independent. Yeah. It's like, get up for school, and they're doing online school. It's like, get on school. It's just like checking in on them, like making sure they're doing their schoolwork. But I'm so lucky, like almost 15, they pretty much do everything themselves. And then, you know, it's like we try to do something fun afterwards. But yeah, I am like grateful right now that my child is
pretty self-sufficient.
Yes, because I'm like, think about little babies or people with little ones. Oof, during this time, oof. Yeah. I'm just like, I feel for you.
Yeah, those toddlers. I think like people with toddlers, like multiple too. Yeah, like I have a friend that has 2 toddlers, and then like one this age, one has a toddler and is pregnant. It's like you can't go outside. Like how are they killing off energy? Like what's going on?
It's a lot.
So yeah, like not to assume. Are you a single mom?
Yeah.
So yeah, like I feel like people don't ask this question, but I feel like it exists. What are some benefits of being a single mom?
I like that I get to choose how in my house how we do things. And it's been that way for so long. I haven't been with Bailey's dad really ever till like before we got pregnant. So it's just me being able to be like, I want to do things this way. And I like that a lot. I'm the only one. I'm like, nobody gets to tell Bailey and when I'm there what to do. Like, so that, it's like, I guess, so that to me is a plus. But then, being a single mom also can be lonely at times, very lonely. You're like, dang, I wish I had somebody to give me a break or, and it feels like, you're like, am I doing this right? There's sometimes, this thought of like, because I am the only one deciding things. Am I making the right choices? So for me, sometimes it gets, and it's hard to co-parent. Co-parenting is hard because, it's just two different people that are trying to raise this child together that are, the way they parent and everything is, like, Bailey's dad is way strict. And I'm like, so chill. Yeah. And I'm way more, and that's just how I am as a person. And so communication is really key. We really have to like communicate and be like, hey, I said this. And like communication. Yeah, you said that. Yeah, because for any relationship, communication is so key. And it has always been like that. We've had our struggles. Like we used to not get along at all. I mean, it was bad. Like when we first, I would say the first definitely 5 years, Bailey's dad wasn't really involved at all. He's definitely done like a 180 and is a great dad now, and I'm grateful for that because I wouldn't be where I am right now if he wasn't the dad he is now, because like he takes her sometimes for them, and I can do the things I need to do, and so it's like, and letting go of resentment, because I had a lot of resentment towards him. It's a lot of just healing work and communication. And I'm grateful for him now, and I'm grateful that he's a good dad. Yeah. That's all I can ask. Right? Like, that's all I need from you. Like, you want to support me? You want to be here? Like, just take care of your child. Yes. Support them. And, like, is he very supportive as well to kind of, like, it's a little, it's a little bit different. He is, but, he doesn't, like, I'm lucky that I do have queer friends and trans, where I'm, like, it's already so much of my life that I wasn't really, like, I'm like, oh, cool, Yeah. And I knew, but like he's trying. Yeah. And like I think that's important. If you're just open to it in anything, you're like, I didn't know that. Like you said, like, I didn't know, but you took it and you're like, from moving forward, I'm gonna be like, I know what pronouns are, Yeah. So he's cool with it now. It just took some time of like educating him and talking to him about it, and then he's like, now he's good about saying they them, and is supportive as well. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. I think there's like a what's the word? I'm going to say it and then you're going to give me the word. But basically, like, people are okay with, like, women being lesbians versus men being gay. Yeah. So I feel like, sometimes when somebody has a daughter who is queer versus a son who is queer, like, it's definitely a different dynamic. But overall, like, it's just cool when a parent is like, I'm here for you. Because you don't get that, Like, so it's just really beautiful when it's not bias? Is that maybe, or just one parent gets it, another one, because it's like, that can get very complicated too, To double back to co-parenting, what is co-parenting? What does that look like? So when I got pregnant, we weren't together, and I was living in Washington. You were or weren't? We were not. Okay. I was living in Washington, and Bailey's dad was living in Washington, where we're like both. Well, I'm basically from this town called Yakima. It's so funny. Yeah. And then he moved to Seattle, and then I moved to Portland with my mom. And so we separated, and then now he's in Washington and I'm here, which is crazy. And it's just, I guess co-parenting to me is like you're in different households, and again, just like communication and trying to have the same rules. Yeah, that's we work on that. I'm trying to be a little bit more. I'm trying to set some more boundaries and stuff, and get more responsibilities. You need that. Fact, discipline, structure. Yeah, I think it's important. And just being supportive of the kid and getting along with each other. I think co-parenting, it's really important that even if you don't like them, you can be cool with them. You know what I mean? Because you don't have to like them. You don't have to like hang out. You don't have to be friends. You like, he's married, and they're gonna have their own baby and stuff. And I'm like so excited for them. And I'm like, man, I've grown, because I didn't know if I could ever feel like that before. But now I'm like, that's so amazing. And they're having their own baby, and Bailey's excited about the baby, and it's so sweet. I'm just like, that's so cool, and it feels so good to be It's like, I don't know, co-parenting, like families almost, because
like blended families.
Yeah.
And
I'm
super beautiful.
just so grateful that we get along and it's like that, because
Mm-hmm.
I know there is people that it's like you can't have the mom or dad involved because of this or that. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, thank you. You know?
Seriously. And Bailey's 14, so like you said, like at the beginning it was a little rocky. Like it took time to get there, but I think consistency and like not giving up. You know, it's hard. Like. But it's like, don't give up. It's all right. Stay optimistic. Like, it'll happen. Yeah. And I think communication, you're right. Like, I feel like you're not co-parenting if you're not communicating. It's one thing where it's like, okay, it's your weekend. Okay, I'm going to drop them off, pick them up. That's not co-parenting. That's just you being a dad, me being a mom. Like, us communicating and agreeing on how we're going to raise our child, I think that's really where the co-parenting comes in. And both of us being active in the child's life. Like, even if, like, okay, I have Bailey most of the time, or you have Bailey, whatever, like, we're still in communication, and I'm still a part of my child's life. Just because they're over there doesn't mean I'm not. Right. You know, we don't get no days off. Like, it's month of moms, but, like, we're moms every month, you know. That way. But, all right, my other question for you was, what are some fears that you had? I hate fears, right? We don't like fears. But what are some fears that you had when you were pregnant?
That's a really good question. I think I was just, like, for me, it was easier to have Bailey in my belly, because I'm like, I was like, what's gonna happen when Bailey comes out of my belly, and then I have to, like, you know, what other fears? I was fearful of them not coming out healthy. Like, what if they don't come out healthy? Like, how are we gonna, you know? I don't know. I was 22, so I was just like. I remember I wanted to get the baby out. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so uncomfortable. I'm huge. And I was just like, I'm ready. I wasn't scared. I was like, let's do this. Let's get the baby out. Come on. I just felt like, you know. But I think one of the biggest fears is like just wanting to have a healthy baby. And then, like, how is it going to go when the baby is not in my belly?
And once the baby was here, did those fears change?
You just, I guess now, like, I'm always like, am I doing this right? I hope I'm doing this right. I don't want to traumatize my child. I just want to be supportive. And, you know, there's fears of, like, something happening to them, but, you know, anything can happen at any time. So you just gotta, like, let go a little bit. But, I don't know if I think now it's just mainly, like, I don't want to, like, I just want to not mess them up. And, you know.
I feel that. I think, like, for me, when I was pregnant, I definitely was like, I don't want to make any mistakes. Like, that was like, we're gonna fall short. Like, we're people. Like, we're moms, but we're people. And, like, people, like, definitely call moms, like, superwomen and stuff. Like, we're superheroes. But it's like, but even superheroes don't always win. Like, so I'm not always gonna win the day, but I'm gonna try my best. So, but as a mom, like, what are you most confident in? I guess, what are you most confident in, like, in your motherhood?
Being able to talk to Bailey about anything. That was something that was really important to me from the beginning. Talking to them about, like, anything and everything. So a lot, like, Bailey is very white passing, like, looks white, you know. So for me, it's like, I've been from the beginning been like, you're gonna have white privilege, and I really need you to understand what that means and how you can use that in a positive way. And, like, Bailey's been protesting since they could be in a stroller. Like, we went to our first protest, and Bailey, like, literally in a stroller. It was so cute for, like, gay rights or something with my sister. And it's just talking to them about social justice, about alcohol, like, about anything, like sex stuff, consent. I mean, nobody told me that I could say no. I was like, what?
My no actually means no.
And like, that also your person, that if they say no, you have to respect that, you know? Things like that. You know, there's things like periods and stuff that my mom, there was no communication. It was just like, figure it out or good luck. You know what I mean? So stuff like that, I'm just so open, and it can be uncomfortable, but I just think about, like, just make it not uncomfortable, because otherwise it'll get weird, you know? Just talk like it's a normal thing. And that's
I feel like that's super important. Like, I'm 24, so, like, obviously me and my mom's conversations change, but the other day she was just like, Mom, don't beat me up, because, like, I'm talking about this, like, I don't care. So she was just randomly like, daughter, she was watching, like, this, like, Little People show, and, like, they were, like, at a, like, sex shop where, like, people were supposed to be helping this married couple or whatever with their sex life, and I walked in, I'm like, okay, I'm like, oh, you're watching something weird, walk out. Do you know where your G-spot is? And I was like, yeah, isn't it whoop de whoop whoop?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, no, it's whoop de whoop whoop and doop de doop doop. Like, she's all explaining it to me. I'm like, oh, so where? So then we start talking like about our partners and like, you know, she's giving me wisdom, but it's like, I mean, I'm older. Like, obviously, like I've had sex. Obviously, I've had sex before. But like, you know, it was just like, there's so many parents where like they're not open with their kids like that, or like their kids can't go to their parents, so you're looking for it outside of home, and now you're being misguided. You know, so I think it is important to like have parents or at least someone in your family or a good what do you call it, good role model that can guide you in the right direction.
Because you know, like I'm like Bailey, I know. I mean, I don't know, like I don't. But I'm like, when you do, you're gonna have, when you have sex, I just want you to be safe, and I want you to be healthy, and like, I'll take you to Planned Parenthood. You know, I'm like, cause I'm trying to be honest with myself, like, you know what I mean? So it's just like that kind of situation. We talked about masturbation because nobody talked to me about that either, and they were like, Mom, they were just like, they're like, don't ever talk to me about that again. But I was like,
it happens. I mean, if you're not doing it, your friends are gonna talk about it.
If you don't know how to please yourself, you're gonna look to other people to please you, and like, you know what I mean?
In every aspect of life. Yeah.
So like, I was like, it's a very healthy thing. It's a normal thing. I'm just trying to break these stigmatisms of like that, you know, because for me, my mom was literally like, just don't have sex till you're married, and I was like, okay,
yeah,
like, all right, you know
like,
what I mean?
I mean, that sounds good, you know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna shoot for that.
Like, I did shoot, I tried, but you know, and that's just my mom's, you know, generation of being older, and like that's what, you know, that really was a thing for them, but that's not how it went. But yeah, so
that seems like a lot of like everything you were saying that like you're open to speaking to Bailey about. It seems like just a lot of things that you're instilling in her. What are some, it's kind of hard because I mean you have a whole lifetime of instilling things into your child, but what are like some main like mindsets, like habits, wisdom that like you want to instill with her that like no matter what you want to make sure it sticks with her?
Mainly just being kind, being a really kind person, treating people how you want to be treated, like be respectful. Unless somebody's not being respectful to you off like right at the gate, then you could be like, well, I don't know. Me personally, I'm like, if you're gonna be rude to me, then I'm gonna be rude, but if you're nice, I'm gonna be nice. Trust your intuition. That's something I'm working at 37 years old. I still sometimes be like, I'm not gonna listen to that, and then I get in trouble. You know, I get myself in trouble.
Just trusting myself.
Yeah. So trusting your intuition. I really hope they like to draw, so I'm like, just keep doing that because it takes so much time. Like people don't pop off till like 15 years later, and that's the thing. Don't give up. Like. As a photographer, I'd be like, sometimes I'm like, I'm so tired of this. I just get tired. I'm like, I'm gonna give up. But then I'm just like, no, I just need to take a break or whatever, you know? So I would love them to work for themselves. Because that's just where it's at right now. It's like, work for yourself.
Parents do not teach that.
No.
And it's so necessary.
It's so hard when your whole family doesn't know, even they're like, entrepreneur. They're like, what do you mean?
Right.
You know? For me, I've had to just figure it out. I have had some like mentors that I could reach out to. But, so yeah, I think just like, being kind, being respectful, being open, and trying to just learn. And just like when you do make a mistake, because you're gonna make a mistake, learn, like take responsibility of that, and then do better moving forward. And that's all you could do. You know?
It's kind of like, oh, missing sock. All right, here, we'll have you match. All right. Yeah, I agree. It's kind of like when people say sorry, and it's like the best apology is like different change behavior.
Exactly.
You know, like
change
all
behavior.
you can do is do better moving forward for sure. But that's beautiful. I know it's hard because it's like I'm gonna be teaching Bailey things like forever, and really I want all of it to stick. But you know, like, and I feel like now that I'm getting older, like my mom's like, oh, you were listening. Like when I say certain things, I'm like, yeah, like I know I fell short. I mean, what did you expect? I'm a kid. Like I'm a person. I make mistakes, you know. But I listened. Like I know, right? Like. A credit card. It's not my money. Like, yeah, I heard you. You said that. I know it was years ago, but I heard you for sure. Like, use protection. I know I have a baby now. I'm gonna do better next time. So like,
you know,
next time. And I mean, I have Isaiah now. So forget the other way. No, don't forget the other way. But I'm just saying, like, I mean, he's a blessing. Anyways, so our co-host Isaiah, he really deserves a raise. So if you guys would like to support him, buy raffle tickets. Let me repeat that. Buy raffle tickets because Isaiah deserves money for this. I mean, like, he's been hosting the heck out of this show, man. Like, if it wasn't for him, I couldn't do this. I wouldn't do this. He's the inspiration behind everything, right? Period. I mean, he knows what's up. He knows, you know. Get you an Isaiah, but you can't because he's one of a kind. So, so what does quality time look like? Like, this is our quality time.
Mhm.
Like, this is,
Yeah.
you know, what does quality time look like for you and Bailey?
My mom was good about that because I'm like, Mom, sometimes I freak out because sometimes, Bailey's not with me all the time. So sometimes I'm like, but my mom's like, it's just when you are with Bailey, like, be present. So quality time to me is like being present. When we do hang out, we do like to, one of our favorite things is thrifting. We love to go thrift shopping. It's so fun. It's something we do. Going on like little road trips is always fun. But try not to be on our phones.
Put the phone down.
Put the phone down, because I'm like, if I'm even like this, I know I'm not gonna,
Yeah.
So I think it's like just really when you are with your kid, it's just being present, trying to be present, put the phone away, even if it's 30 minutes, but it's like that 30 minutes you give them your whole attention.
Yeah, I think it's hard with the phone because if you are on your phone, you just get pulled in. It's like, I'm just gonna check one thing.
Yep.
10 hours later.
Like 10 hours later.
Like legit. And our phones tell us, my friend told me, like, our phones tell us how long we've been on there for. It's just like, I'm cool. Like, I should not have this much screen time in a day. Like, kids are not the only one who needs to be like managed of how much screen time they have in a day. We gotta do better. But that's beautiful and super important. Okay. All right. We're almost done. Okay. Yeah, I understand. Got you. So, I feel like this whole time we've already been like really affirming Bailey. It happens naturally. That's her job. But if she's watching, which I'm sure she is, what would you tell Bailey in the sense of like, how do you see Bailey through your own eyes? What are some affirming things that you would say?
Bailey is so.
Renee's talking. I'm gonna let you see her. Hold on. Here we go.
Hey.
Go ahead.
Bailey is. You're so strong. You're so kind. Your intuition is so on point. Just keep trusting your intuition. I just think, I'm like, Bailey's so kind. That's like, I just feel like that's something I've really instilled into Bailey because it's just me. That's who I am. Too.
Yeah.
And what was the things I would say?
But it's crazy that you're saying that to not to interrupt you, but I feel like being kind is so overlooked, and it's a very important thing.
Yeah,
being
and it's
kind-hearted.
So easy to do,
right?
It's so much easier to be nice than mean. You know what I mean? It takes so much energy to be nasty or mean or whatever. Like being kind is so easy. It's just so easy. Yeah. So, and keep drawing and keep just doing your thing. And I believe in you. And you're amazing. And that's what I want to say. You saved my life because I feel like if I didn't want to have you, Bailey, I would not be where I'm at right now because everything I do is for you. And I don't even think I would have left my hometown. I'm not even sure I'd be alive, to be honest, because my hometown is a place where it's like there's a lot of drug abuse and alcohol abuse and high poverty rate, like things like that. So so thank you for choosing me to be your mom, and I'm grateful that you are in my life and you changed my life for the best.
Yes.
So.
That's what kids do. You guys are pretty awesome, man.
Yeah.
You guys are pretty awesome. Bailey, we love you. I don't know you, but I love you. Why can't I, right? I mean, that's that stuff she was about the love, you know what I'm saying? We love you. Well, that was really beautiful. I'm going to wrap it up there. We can talk about being a mom all day.
Yeah.
Because we're moms all day, every day.
Yes.
So, really, we could keep going. But is there anything else that you have to say to new moms, people that want to be moms, people that are moms, anything else about motherhood that you want to?
First, I want to say thank you to you for doing this.
Thank you.
This is like such a beautiful project, and it's so important because moms, I think we were talking about this early in the morning, but we just are so hard on ourselves. And when somebody's just like, you're doing amazing. Yeah. It's just like, oh, thank you. I needed that. So for me, I think for moms, like just take it day by day. And try not to be so hard on yourself because literally what you're doing, just like raising a child, is like, it's just so amazing and it's so hard to do. So just try to take even 10 minutes to do something like self-care, something that makes you happy. And you're doing amazing. And I don't know what else is. Well,
you said it that they're doing amazing, so I'm gonna affirm you because you are doing amazing, and I'm glad I met you. Shout out Jada and Monty. Jada and Monty hooked us up, you guys. So shout out you. We're gonna put your Instagram like right here. If it's not right here, it's gonna be like right there or like somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, can you let the people know your Instagram and like how to support you, a little bit about your artistry?
So my Instagram is at misslopezmedia.com. That's my website. MISSLOPEZ Media. And I am looking for photo shoots. I do want to say that I love to support Black and brown women in their businesses, or femmes or trans women. So I offer like a free first shoot for your, like, if you have a business you're doing, you need headshots, whatever you want you want pictures with your family, hit me up please, because it's just a way that I can give back, especially being newer to Oakland. That's something that I really want to focus on, because I think it's so important to give back to a community when you're new, especially. And I'm like, what else? My website is misslopezmedia.com.
Tune in.
Yeah. And
how long have you been in the Bay for?
Almost 2 years, but I've been coming to Oakland for like 7 years.
Okay.
Trying to move here back and forth. Because when I came the first time, I was like, I need to live here.
Yeah.
And I had came to visit friends that are born and raised here, so I got the like local experience. And so I was like, I love this place.
Yeah, I'm coming back.
Yes.
This is my home.
Yes. So,
yeah, I feel it. Shout out to the Bay Area.
Yeah.
We're Bay Areans out here. Well, this concludes episode 2 of Month of Moms. This is just where it's at, you guys. Like, just supporting moms, uplifting moms, hearing out mom stories. I think it's important for everybody to tune into this, not just moms. Because even before I was a mom, I always made statements like, when I'm a mom, or if, like, and it's like you don't really know the struggle until you are. So I think it's important to just tune in so you have wisdom about what it actually takes to be a mom. And yeah, you can just appreciate them, affirm them, and love on them. But we're gonna tune out. Baby Love, I think, has something to say. What do you have to say? Yeah, the mug says it all. He's done. He's over it. Period. You know, it's been nice. It's been nice. I appreciate you guys, and we'll be back with episode 3. Peace.
Ain't nobody do it as good as we do it to our children. We a mom and we hella true to it. Creating our own lane is how we move through it. And just 'cause it's hard don't mean that we